All right, thank you very much, and welcome again to today's webinar to help you grow your business with MERX.com, a demo of navigating MERX.com and showing you all of the features and benefits of MERX.com. I am your host, Isabel Maroney. I'm a marketing manager of digital experience here at MERX, actually MDF Commerce, since MERX is now a part of our bigger family called MDF Commerce. And I've been here for close to 11 years now, and I know MERX inside out for sure. So if you have any questions and I don't know the answer, then I would definitely know who to ask to help out with that question. So don't be shy to ask those questions. So today's outlook is we'll touch on about MERX, a little bit of a MERX snapshot talking about the functionality, and we're just going to jump right into that demonstration. It's just easier to get right in. Sometimes it's easier to see as we go. Then we'll come back to the presentation and we'll talk about our subscription packages. I'll touch a little bit on our procurement portals, which are additional places for you to find business opportunities. We'll do a quick recap and then I'll let you know how you can contact us. Now, as it relates to MERX, let's start with what it is. So MERX is the place for buyers and suppliers to meet, to work together and conduct business in the procurement process. It's kind of like online dating, but for the business world. So we have buyers and suppliers looking to work together. Now, in the last year, obviously, we've noticed quite a few pandemic purchasing trends. One of the biggest ones being that it's paperless. So a lot of our buying organizations have switched over to using electronic bidding. So you can post your bids directly through the system, which takes away from having to deal with physical documentation and paper and all of that. So there's quite a few more that have shifted over to eBid submission. Now, otherwise, we've had over 252 buying organizations that have since joined since March 2020, so that's quite a huge number. On average, there's 3,500, if not more, new open solicitations every day on MERX.com. Over 11,300 exclusive solicitations on MERX.com since the last year by the participating buyers. And then we do have, we did notice an increase in construction, medical, PPE, cleaning supplies, and suppliers. And that includes the 17,800 exclusive opportunities, which includes also the MERX portals. Yes, Mauro, the deck will be shared with you as well. And then if I continue here to a quick little MERX snapshot, this kind of gives you the big picture. So this is where you can come and search to find those relevant opportunities by region. And then based on whatever your industry is, where you would be looking for opportunities to supply your good or service. Within that realm, we have saved search notifications, so you can create saved searches so that you're not constantly going onto the website to make your searches. So we'll notify you of any new opportunities that match your saved search criteria. So there's that online dating kind of situation where we want to make sure that you receive those emails. So I'll show you how to set those up. And then once you find opportunities of interest, there is a potential for you to have a look at possible partnership opportunities with other organizations or subcontracting opportunities, especially if you're new to the game. This could be a great opportunity for you to come to MERX and find other organizations to partner with, especially for those larger RFPs. Sometimes it's possible for you as a smaller organization to do a smaller part of it and work with another organization. It helps you get your foot in the door as well. We also have a historical database of all of anything that was open that is now closed. That also gives you some historical information on buying trends, where you can get some competitive information through that historical database. And then, of course, when it comes to the bidding process, like I mentioned earlier, many of our buying organizations have moved and shifted over to eBid submission. So doing your bid submissions directly through the MERX.com website. And this is also the whole paperless process. There are some safeguarding elements to keep the process open, fair, and transparent. Buying organizations won't have access to your bid until after the closing date and time. So it's not like as if they can look at your stuff before before the tender has closed. And then as it relates to winning a contract, obviously the more contracts you win, the more you can grow your business, which is a nice problem to have. So you can also search on our awards database as well, and then this place will give you some very interesting information on perhaps some of the tenders that your competitors have won, and in some cases it will show you the amount for which the contract was won. So it gives you kind of like some insight into what's going on in your market. And of course, if you find that you have not won an opportunity, you can request a debrief, and every buying organization has their own way of scoring and evaluating the bids that they receive. So you can contact them and see about getting a debrief and find out where your best scores were, if you will, and perhaps where you fell short. And so it gives you a good sense for the next time you decide to go to bid. You'll have that insight into that kind of information. It's sort of like going out to get a job. You know how some people will tailor their resume to reflect what the employer is looking for. So it's that kind of thing where you can't always do a copy paste, if you will, for each one. Sometimes you need to modify and update and refresh speak in the same language as the buying organization. So that's the kind of information that is interesting to look at after a debrief. And then, of course, you have your custom profile that's available to you on MERX. This is a bit of a newer feature. So for those of you who are brand new, you might have noticed it or come across it, but those of you who've been with MERX for a little bit while longer, you might not be aware of this. So I will show you this in the demonstration. But this is a place where you can refine your profile. And so when MERX buyers or buying organizations come to MERX and ask us about hey, we want to be able to find other vendors. We want to refresh our vendor list or what have you. So they want to reach out to you. They can go look through that pool of a large database of vendors that are available. So this is where we can refine that information for you. And you can also define what your working categories are so the buying organizations can better find you. But all in all, MERX is the place to find business opportunities that you can't find anywhere else. So let's look at a few other elements. So before we go into the demonstration, I just want you to kind of think about how you can optimize your opportunities by using the features. So as we go through it, see what kind of works for you. Yasir is asking, can we search by keywords as well as categories? Yep, I will get into that when we get to the demonstration part. And then as it relates to this slide here, there is truly strength in numbers here. So consider that we have over 200 buying organizations across North America that are looking for your goods and services within an international, national, and local database of over 200,000 suppliers. And of course, from those buying organizations, there's hundreds of billions of dollars in projects every year that are posted on MERX. So there's no lack of business, that is for sure. And of course, it's time for you to compete for your share of these supply opportunities, and we're going to do that with the live demonstration. So let me switch my screen. And so here we are at merx.com. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. I find sometimes on your end it might be a little bit small, so we'll get into it from here. All right, so some examples of, so merx.com, obviously we have the Canadian tenders. So Canadian tenders includes all organizations that are public organizations. So anything from the MASH sector, so municipalities, any of the governments, academic social services, healthcare, those types of organizations would be found, as well as crown corporations, private organizations, and agencies would be found under Canadian tenders. We also have US tenders and private construction services available. I won't be getting in too much to those services for today, but I will leave you with additional information about those services. But from here, you literally can come in and start typing anything. If you're looking for, I don't know, printing opportunities, click on that magnifying glass and that will take you to the results. So you'll see here there's 221 results. Seems like quite a bit to have to look through. Let's say I am in Alberta. If I could spell it correctly, that would help. Alberta. So just go ahead and do your keywords as printing in Alberta. Now you have 50 results that you can go through and have a look at all of these. Just, click on it and then have a look at the solicitation. I don't know, I'm on the live Merk site here, so Peter is asking, is the Save Search feature available to all programs, basic service versus premium service? Yes, and I will get into that once we log in. So here we go. Maybe, I don't know, a popular one lately has been janitorial, especially with all of the pandemics, this situation. So here you go. You can see janitorial, but you could also refine. I was doing some testing yesterday, so my Google Chrome is remembering my searches. And then there's 17 results, so I could go through these different opportunities. I can use the categories section if you like. I just find that when I use that, it restricts my search results a little bit more, and so I find I see less results, but that's up to you. Play around with the different search functionality. We continue to improve and improve our searching functionality here. If you want to look through the last 24 hours or in the last week or just all of the published solicitations, you can do so from there. There's the status as well. So this is what I mentioned earlier about the different databases that we have available. So there's open solicitations, closed solicitations. So anything that was open is now closed. This is a great place for you to come and have a look at some historical information of other opportunities that have happened, and you can kind of get a sense of maybe what are some of those awesome keywords that you're looking for, like what is, or different buying organizations that could be looking for you. So you can go and have a look at, oh, okay, they have this contract, okay. It also gives you a sense of maybe when they go to tender for your specific good or service. So you can have a look at, maybe this one here was for a 2-year term, and then they're looking for someone again in the next year. So it gives you kind of a sense of how you want to prepare for getting some market intelligence about what you do. The other one is the bid results. In some cases, we have buying organizations that choose to share their bid results, and you're able to go ahead and have a look in these. The interesting part about this is that in some cases here, you'll be able to see more details. So in the bid results, you can go have a look and it'll show you all the results from all the bidding organizations. It's not always published, but a lot of times in the public sector, you will see these to keep it open, fair, and transparent. And then in here, you'll see the awardee and you'll be able to see who won the contract and the dollar amount for which the contract was won. So it kind of gives you a sense of what's out there. So I'm just going to go ahead back, and I haven't even logged in yet, so this is kind of important information for you. And of course, there's the awarded database that you can do. It's very similar to the closed database. All that information goes back 7 years, so you can kind of do some timeline trending if you were into doing, some people really like to get data and put it together, Excel spreadsheets. So you can do that sort of thing in this case. And of course, you can order by the different relevancy options that are available. Yes, so that is for searching. The other thing I forgot to mention is in some cases, if you wanted to do a search, there's popular categories there as well. But like for some some folks want to look by buying organization, so you could do a search like Construction Canada, which is a large crown organization that does all the construction for the military for D&D. So you can have a look at all of their solicitations just by typing in the name of their organization. It's usually best to use the full name as opposed to the shortened version like DCC or CPC. It just makes it easier if you use the full name of the organization, because when they fill it out, it's the full name of their organization. It's not going to be the what is it called? Abbreviation, I think. But just to give you an example, I'm just typing a few different ones that are large crown organizations that tend to post quite a few solicitations. So City of Ottawa, Manitoba, the province of Manitoba, all their solicitations are found here. We also have the government of Newfoundland and Labrador that post all their solicitations here. And so those are available as well. So you can use those as your search terms. And again, I haven't even logged in. So now I will log in so that we can get a look at the other side of things. I am logging in from our learning environment because I don't want to be submitting bids to real opportunities. So I'm going to log in from our learning environment. With my account here. All right, just quick, see, Ruby is asking, how did you get to the view with the navigation on the side when viewing wins? That's when you click in the title of the opportunity, and that takes you to the solicitation abstract. And I'll come back to that once we skip over to, we're going to do a little bit of admin stuff, if you will, first to get us started. Now, getting started is that profile that I mentioned to you earlier about your MERX profile, if you will. So, okay, so if you come here, like you have your solicitations menu is found here. We'll come back to this. Under reports, you have dashboard order documents and management reports, and we'll come back to that. But when you come over here to where there's the little person icon, this is your navigation menu related to you and your business. So when you click here and you go into My Profile, this will open up your settings as a person. So in here, you can get your account information in here, modify your password, your default preferences settings are here, your personal information, your address, and all of that, as well as your role and privileges for your account. And then, oops, how did that happen? I clicked off somewhere. If I go back here and I click on my organization, so this is the fun part where you can go in and add additional information about your organization. So this is the organization level information. So in here you can have your My Company Rocks here with the information, the address, phone, how to contact you. Now this part here is very important, is the other information section. Now you just use the little pencil that's available there to make any changes. So we're going to be adding to this business type section just because of how diverse Canada is, and we want to be able to allow organizations to self-identify as Indigenous owned, woman owned, and I know that there will be more that will be added soon. So do take the time to fill out this section, because some buying organizations are specifically looking for this type of information. So I don't know if you wanted to come in here, put in your business structure. I'm writing here that I'm a woman-owned organization. If you have any specific certifications or DBE status or anything like that, you can click yes and then specify what they are. If you have any others, you can type in the year that you were established if you like. It's just additional information that is interesting or important. The amount of employees you have, Click on save, and now that information is saved here. And then if I come down here, we have the section here called working categories. I mentioned it earlier, so this you want to make sure to actually select the categories that make sense for the business that you're in. So you can open it up and go into the details of whatever it is that you do. Because as Merks, we also have other places that we might push out other solicitations that might be of interest to you. And so we would base ourselves on what you select in your category type. So do make an effort to come in here and do select the, if it makes sense that you're in office equipment, then do select it. And then that will save into your profile. If you wanted to, you can go in and select GSIN, UNSPSC categories, and these are used by specific organization levels that those are their category settings that they use. So you're welcome to go ahead and select within those. There's quite a few to pick from, but you can do that. Otherwise, just make sure your MERX category is selected. Now we'll click on save for that section. And then we get into the advertisement information section. So in here, you can make some edits if you like. And this is kind of your marketing about your organization. So if I wanted to, I could change out my logo because I did notice that's the old logo. So I would want to change that. Simply upload the logo. You can have an English company description, French company description, perhaps highlights about your products and services. So this is kind of your marketing information, if you will. Mine is all about cookies and cakes and fruits and vegetables. But you can also make it bilingual, make your profile bilingual. Key customers, if you have any promotional material, you can add that here. If you have any videos, any of that kind of stuff can be added here. And that just helps you be promotional within your account. So I'm just going to click save on that. So Ruby is asking, how did you get to oh, we already asked that question. Kevin, can we have multiple email addresses added to one user? So that question comes up quite often. So the way that we handle that is through the pull down menu here under contacts. So if you wanted to add other employees from your organization to your administration level or your company organization, you simply go to contacts, add your contact. Just be aware that you may have to select a package for them. So just be aware of that. You can access the free one to continue, but you'll fill out the information about who the other employee is, but everything is connected to one email address. So you have one user, one email address. So it's all connected based on their role and privileges. So when you create a new contact to your account, you'll have the role and privileges where you can select what it is that you want them to have access to related to your organization. Hopefully that makes sense. It does describe what is accessed when you select on the role or privileges. I just won't add anybody right now because then it takes time to load and just to save on time. So that's how you can add somebody to your organization. Laura is asking, is this only for paid subscriptions? The profile is, or I mean the enhanced organization profile. My understanding is it's available to all. My account is a paid account, so the next step actually is going into the finance. So this is where you have your credit card information and the details of that, and it tells you what. So I have like a full access here. Let's go have a look then. I have an account on the live. Might as well while we're here because I don't want to be a liar. I want to make sure you have the proper information. Oh, we have planned system outage on Saturday. Under my organization. Oh, so the working categories is available, but the other section below that allows you to add that information is part of the premium package. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't sure if this was also included. So Yes, you are correct. Then it is part of the paid premium package. But the working category, you can also enter that in there. Sorry for that. I was doubting myself. There's been so many changes, it's hard to keep up. And then, of course, your invoicing can here. Everything is paperless at MERX. We will never mail you a statement or anything, so you'll be able to get them from here. And then, of course, for under services is the subscription packages that you currently have. And if you wanted to upgrade or add any other services, you could do so from either the modified services, which is related to the Canadian public tenders, and then we have our US tenders and our private construction as well. You can always give us a call, 1-800-964-MERX. Our call center agents are available Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't be shy, they're there to help. So do give them a call, or you can also email us if you prefer at merx@merx.com. So that takes us outside of the administration type stuff. So let's go back over here to the searching. Thank you for your question, Laura. That was great. I'm glad that I got that. Thank you. Now, when we come here, same idea. If you wanted to do your searches, you could do so from the keyword search at the top here. I'm not going to do a search from our learning environment because we won't get any results, just because we use this simply for um, training. But I mean, we did get some, so that's cool. But you could do your searches from here. And then on the left-hand side here, where you have the status window, it's really nice because between open solicitations, there's 15. I'm really sorry, they're cutting some trees next to my house, so it's pretty loud, and I do apologize if that's disruptive. So at a glance, you can see how many open solicitations are available. You can also quickly jump to the closed solicitation. So that's that closed database where you can have a look. There's also the awarded solicitations that you can go and have a look at as well. In the cases of where you may have some invitations to bid, you can click on the My Invitations Only. Now, one of the things that I want to highlight with the My Invitations Only is there's no chainsaw being picked up. Awesome. Thank you for telling me, Renata, because it's pretty loud here. But thank you for letting me know. Under the My Invitations Only, one thing to mention is if you happen to have one of your saved searches on, in some cases, your invitations won't show up. So I have to click it in order to be able to see it. I have to turn the save search on. It's a little bit of a funny situation because this is independent on its own, and then you have, I don't have any invitations at this time, but once you have a saved search on, then it sometimes won't allow you to see your invitations only. So just be aware that that's something that sometimes happens. So if I was in here and I was making a search or doing a search from the keyword, so I entered my keywords and I wanted to select a MERX category, for instance, I could do that. Every time you click something, it automatically changes on the results window. And then if you liked these results, you could always click on the save search from here so that you can add that search. So in this case, it was goods. I'll just call it goods. You can also add any other or modify any of the other options that are found here. If you're looking for a specific organization, you could do that from here. I don't know, let's say, what's a good one? Maybe. See? I told you. Don't use that. All right, so let's click, for instance, that. All right, and then I go back to the search parameters, and then I'll call this goods DCC. If you want to set it as your default search, then when you log into MERX, you'll immediately go to those results. And that's what I mean also when you're looking for your invitations only. So you want to maybe deselect that so that you're not always stuck in that zone. And then if you want to start receiving those emails every day when those opportunities are posted that match this search criteria, just simply click on the Get Notified of Opportunities. And then I click on Save. And then when I log in, it will be available in my pull down menu here. So I've created quite a few different ones as examples. So like City of Ottawa Transportation, for instance, it will repopulate with those results in the window. Now, if you wanted to make any changes to your saved searches, you simply go to Solicitations Save Search. And then from here, you'll be able to see all of your saved searches. You can have as many saved searches as you want, but you can only have up to 10 notifications because otherwise then you'll just get too many emails. And what we do is you'll get all of the emails in one. So, you know, if I will get one email that will have City of Airdrie, City of Ottawa Transportation, Goods DCC, Ontario, webinar. So I can simply turn them on and off if I no longer want to receive those. Super easy just by ticking them on and off. If you want to make any modifications, obviously click on the little pencil so that you can go in and make any changes required. One thing that I really do like is this little clock here. When you go into it, it gives you a history of all of the changes that you have made to that saved search. And the reason why this is kind of really nice is because in some cases there's new buzzwords that are being used for your good or service. So you can come in and modify maybe what are some of the words that you're using, or if you wanted to change something specific to it. So you can go back historically and see what type of trends are going on in the searches that you're looking at. So that's kind of a nice little add-on that is new. It's been a couple of months. And of course, if you want to delete one, you can also do so by clicking on the little trash can, and then boom, it's gone. I want to highlight this little section here, recommendations. So this is where MERX tries to send you additional solicitations that you may have not cross paths with, and this is based on your working categories. So do make sure that you fill out that working categories from your profile that we talked about earlier. And you can turn this on or off, so this will be within the same email that you get for your saved search. These will be additional ones that are available to you in the bottom, so you can turn that on or off. So Ruby is asking, are by invitation tenders a premium feature as well? Not necessarily. It's based on if you are maybe a specific vendor to that organization, or they have deemed you qualified to do business with them. In some cases, buying organizations will post like a grand tender. Oh, here, like I'll give you an example. Like Defense Construction Canada, for example, has an open tender that is allowing vendors to come in and submit themselves as a vendor of record, if you will. So there's a lot of buying organizations that will do that sort of thing. So you can look for um, those types of solicitations, and then you can submit so that you can become a by invitation supplier. Hopefully that answers your question. Celia is asking, save searches. The next day you get the previous day results or updated to the newly posted ones. Thank you. So the save search emails go out twice a day, twice per day, but it's only based on if something was posted that matches. Oh, I'm in my, that's on, I'm not, I have to come back here to the learning site. So yes, twice a day notifications will come, and only for those that you've ticked on. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully that answers your question. And I think, David, I answered your question by answering the other question. And then Alan is asking, we are a very niche firm that deals with construction engineering and delay disruptions, complex loss claims. Browsing through MERX, we don't see much that relates to the work we do. Do you recommend a type of subscription with MERX that would apply to a firm like ours? So it's one of those things where we don't know when a buying organization will be looking for that good or service. So perhaps in your case, the best thing for you to do is to, when we get to the subscription packages, we can talk about that at that point. Actually, it will probably make more sense. But set up a saved search with those notifications on, and then at some point when something comes in, you'll see that email, and then you'll be able to come on to MERX. And then if you want to do business, then at that point you'll want to consider a premium package with us as opposed to keeping the free one. So it's at no cost to you to have the free pay-as-you-go account, and then just set up your saved search. So at least you have that coming to you. And then can you review, Laura is asking, can you review once more how we become a preferred supplier? So you have to find those, you'll have to do a search for those. I know, uh, I mean, I don't know everything that's on MERX, but I know that Defense Construction Canada has an open bid for it's in Cold Lake, I think. Is that possible? Maybe not, maybe Alberta. Nope. I can't remember what it's called. There's a um I apologize for this. I just found out about this the other day. But you can go in and it'll give you all of the instructions and all of the details on what you need to do to become a preferred supplier to them. But I know that there's a specific word. Oh, here we go. Request for qualifications. There you go. So it's a request for qualification. There you go. That was simple. So you can come in here and then read out all of the detail of what they're looking for, and then um, yeah, there you go. Um, no problem, Cafe. Thank you for joining. Cafe Canada. Okay, I will go back here now. And so we did the searching. I just don't want to lose track also because of the time. So one thing that I want to get into is have a look at a solicitation. So we'll do that from here so that we can get into that detail. So the big things to mention here is the big clock that's here. It tells you how much time left you have to bid. So be mindful of that because you don't want to be caught at the last minute trying to submit a bid and downloading all the documents, and oh my God, you're not going to make it. So just be aware of the time left to bid. In some cases, it'll say time left to, you know, give your bid intent. There's different ways that different buying organizations will do it. Do yourself a favor and make sure you take the time to read through things because everything is different. All the buying organizations do however they do for their business. So under the notice section, you have your basic information that has all of your issuing title. In this case, you'll notice they have an agreement type, a CEDA agreement, details of where the work is to take place, the type of purchase type, the dates of publication and closing date. Questions acceptance deadline is important. You want to make sure that you ask your questions when you're going through this process. Sometimes it's very helpful to clarify things. The contact person for this solicitation. And then, you know, in this case, they're asking you to make sure you have insurance required. They also have a pre-bidding event, so make sure that you read those instructions when you need to be at that pre-bidding event. You also have your bid submission process. So in this case, that's where you'll know if it's a physical bid or an electronic bid submission. Like I said before, most of them are going towards the electronic bid submission. So this helps things for you. And then here you'll notice that it has your bid document list. So these are the documents that you need to include when you're doing your submission. 2 of them are mandatory, 1 is not. So that gives you the information in the notice. Under category is the category in which this solicitation is categorized under. And then here we have the document list. So this is where we want to come and download the documents. As a free basic pay-as-you-go subscriber, you can download the tender documents, but then you'll be charged pay-as-you-go that $60 fee. But if you're a premium subscriber, if this solicitation is within the region of the premium package that you've chosen, then this won't even matter. You'll just go ahead and download the documents and it'll say $0. But this is where you come in and get the documents, And you can just do the order basket when there's more than one, and then you'll order the documents that you need. But before I order them, I just want to highlight here the document request list. Now, in some cases, this document request list is not available. It's based on the buying organization's choice if they want to share it or not. And you can only view the document request list with a premium package. Now, this here is once you've downloaded the documents, you will appear on this list. These are the other organizations that have downloaded the tenders. So these are the folks that you can either look at having a subcontracting opportunity or a partnership opportunity, or it's also gives you visibility into who you're competing with. So if you decide to go to tender or respond to the bid, you'll notice that these folks are your competitors. So you might already know them because you already deal with them. But in this case, you would be able to go in here and have a chat with them about maybe partnering or what have you. But it kind of keeps the process open, fair, and transparent for all bidding organizations. Now, if I go back to the documents section and then I click on order, this will take me to the order basket, and then I can just simply get all those documents. I just have to select a follow option. Now, this is if there's any changes to this opportunity, you'll want to be notified about them. So do select that you want to be notified. In some cases, you can follow and receive amendments, but there may be fees attached to that because if we have to print things and then ship them off to you, then there will be fees. But in this case, it's simple to just take the follow and receive notifications, and then we'll email you to let you know that there has been an amendment or a change. So please log back into MERX to find that information. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and look here. Vendors must be on here to become considered a document holder. Now it's only selecting the English documents, you'll notice here, because I don't really need both of them, and it'll always say $0 if you have a premium package, but if you have a pay-as-you-go, then you'll have to pay that $60 fee for that. So we'll just click on continue. We'll confirm our order, and then we'll go ahead and process that order, and then we can go ahead and download those documents from here. And I'll close that. It'll take me back to my solicitation. So that was the documents that we just did, and now if I go to the document request list, now I appear on the list because I've downloaded the documents. So just be aware of that, that you can't download the documents without appearing here if the document request list is available. And then we have the Q&A. So in some cases, some buying organizations use the questions and answer period available through the solicitation. So, you can go ahead and ask a question. I don't know, here, do you have a, COVID-19 policy? And ask that question as an example. And now that question will go to the person responsible for this solicitation, and then they'll need to take the time to respond to you. They can either respond to you in private, or they can make your question and answer public to all of the document takers, and then they'll be listed here. You'll notice here that it does say Q3, so chances are there were 2 questions before mine and they were responded to in private. But I do know that this is mine because I have it in parentheses here. But if someone else's question and answer was posted here, I would not see who asked the question. So it kind of keeps that a little bit fair and transparent as well, so that it doesn't maybe leak away some information or competitive information from another supplier. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the questions and answers. Okay, then we covered the document request list, so you can contact those, with your elevator pitch, if you will. And then you'll notice that at the top here, now I'm following this opportunity because I've downloaded those documents. So that's important to know that you're following this. The audit is simply an audit of all activities related to the solicitation. So now I'm just going to go back here, and let's say that we've read all those documents. The documents are always the place that you will find the most information. It's the buying organization that is looking for your good or service. So read those documents fully. Try to get other people from your organization to read them if you have a legal person, or if you have, I don't know, a technical person, whoever you can get to read through those documents to make sure that yes, you can in fact deliver those goods and services, and you want to just cross all your T's and dot all your I's and make sure you have all that information. Try to do that as much as possible. So from here, let's say a week goes by and now I'm ready to submit my bid. I'm going to put together all of my documents, and then I don't know if there are a requirement for documents. I'm just giving the example in this case for an eBid submission. So now I'll just go back and look for that solicitation. So I can do that from multiple points. I could do it just from simply from here and then go back to it. I can go back to my bid management, or I can go through my reports and have a look at my historical information of all of the documents that I've ever ordered in my account, and then I could go back here and then find that solicitation through here. You know, that's up to you. I just do it from the main page here. So this is the one that I'm using today. And so I just come back, as long as you make your way back to the actual solicitation, and then of course you just go to that place bid button, and then it opens up this screen. So now I want to place my new bid. In some cases, you may say, you know, I downloaded those documents, but we've changed our minds. We're not going to submit a bid. So you might want to let them know that you're placing a no bid. So it kind of gives the buying organization, oh, they downloaded the documents, but then we didn't hear from them. So it kind of just closes off your activity with them. So let's select place a new bid. Now, if you place a bid and you need to change something, you can always do so right up until the closing date and time. So you do have time to withdraw and resubmit and all of that. And it's not going to cost you more or anything. It's just all within the same situation. Now, you'll see here at the top, it tells you how much time is left to bid. Do yourself a favor and do not get this at the last minute, especially if you have large documents. You really want to take the time to, do this right. So don't wait till the last minute. Give yourself some time, because it's nerve-wracking and you don't want to miss that closing date and time. You will not be happy after all that work. So let's go ahead. You can drag and drop your files, or you can browse and drop your file in here. Super simple, just like anything. Let me go to my documents here. And so I have a bunch of documents here that I could, I don't know, here, let's just grab a bunch of these. Oh, proposals, add to it. And so now you'll see, because I have so many documents, it takes a little bit of time to upload those. So make sure you're aware of that. And then it does need to process the documents. So now they've all completed. I'm happy with that. You can do that, and then I'll notice, oh, here they were asking for the functional document, so I'll make sure to go here and add the functional document, which means I'll remove it from here. Still processing. I'm trying to hurry because I know I'm noticing the time. I'll remove that document. There you go. And then here, this is an optional document, so I don't need to add it. And if I had any additional documents, I could do so from here. And I simply click on next. This takes us to the pricing amount. In some cases, it's a different setup where they have a list of items that they want you to price in, and then they allow you to download an Excel sheet that you can fill out on the side and then re-upload it into here. The instructions are super simple and detailed when you're at that point. But this example just wanted to have a lump sum, and so I'm just going to put that because it's not real and we can play along. Now in this case, we're in the bidder compliance and authentication. So be aware, it's highlighting here that I literally just downloaded the document, so it's impossible that I'm already ready to submit a bid. So it's just letting me know, be aware, you just downloaded this. And also I'm 44 days in advance, so there may be changes and what have you. So that's the only reason why this is highlighted here. So I'm just going to put my name for my bid submission, and I enter my password that I use to log in to submit the bid. Then I click on submit bid. I am prompted to make sure that I want to proceed, so I say yes, and then boom, I get my confirmation number. Now this information gives you right up to the minute, right up to the second of your submission date. You have a confirmation number, and you can download your PDF version for your records if you like. That was a lot. So now I find myself in the bid management section here, which you can also access from the solicitations menu. So bid management here. So any of the bids that you have submitted, you can manage them from here. So you'll notice here that I had withdrawn one. So anything with the little, I know there's a name for these little dots, but I can't remember what it is. But there's a side menu here where you can go in and edit or view. In some cases, you can modify your price or withdraw your bid and then submit a new one, but you will always be able to do that from the three little dots section. So that's how that works for the bid management. I won't go into qualifications today because that's a larger chunk, but if ever you're part of a a qualifications with a specific organization, they will contact you, and then you will be invited to provide qualification or respond to their qualification form. Okay. Now, and then reporting dashboard is just like a news feed of activities, and management reports is where you can also get your statements of account from MERX. I just want to hop back to my presentation. And then just to close things off, so a few tips for success. I don't know how many times I mentioned it. I must have mentioned it many times, but make sure you read all the information that's available to you in the solicitation. Read those documents completely. That's where you get the most accurate information. And if you find that something doesn't make sense to you, maybe the buying organization understands something one way and you could probably offer something different, then ask those questions. And even if it's not through the MERX system, there should be a way for you to ask questions to the buyer or the contact within the buyer organization. Try to meet those mandatory requirements. Get some help outside of your place, especially if you're a smaller organization. There are organizations out there that are here to help you respond to RFPs. It could be very, very daunting. So do get help. There's tons of books out there on responding to RFPs. So knowledge is power, of course, so go ahead and get some of those books. There's online help. There's groups on LinkedIn that you can get connected with. Try to look at those partnerships and subcontracting opportunities if you can, if it makes sense for you, and try to work with others within your team. That is very helpful. So now as it relates to our subscription packages. So for Canadian tenders, we have the basic pay-as-you-go. I think most of you said that you were pay-as-you-go free. So if you decide with that subscription package that you do want to download those tender documents, then it will be $60 for that solicitation. And if there's an eBid submission, it will be included with that, but only for that specific solicitation. Of course, you can set up your saved searches with those with a pay-as-you-go account. So do make a point of doing that. The thing that I want to mention with the free account, there are a few organizations that have paid for your access to their tenders, and those include Alberta Electric System Operator, City of Airdrie, which is in Alberta, Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, Manitoba Government, Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. So those only require a basic pay-as-you-go account. Now, as it relates to the premium packages, so for the local package, this is by province. So if you want to have access to all the tender documents within one province, then local is for you. All of our premium packages include Northern Canada as well, so Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Obviously the annual package is more worth it for you because you save 50% on the monthly fee. So do consider that. Regional is really great if you want to broaden or extend your looking for business opportunities to neighboring provinces. So in this case, we have Western Canada, which includes British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, as well as the northern provinces already included. Then we have Central, which does a little bit of a crossover. So you have Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario, and all of the northern province and territories. And then we have Eastern Canada, which includes Ontario, Quebec, and all of the Atlantic provinces. Of course, also includes the northern Canadian. And if you prefer, you can go national, and that gives you access to all of Canada in one account. So those are for the Canadian tenders. As it relates to our US tenders, we also have packages that are state, um, local, state, and national access to the US government tenders with our sister company bidnet direct. And so if you want access or more information about this service, the 1-800 number is there, or the 1844 number, if you will. We also have our private construction service. So if you are in construction, this is a consideration for you. You can add this to your account. It's for Canadian organizations that are looking for information on any construction my goodness, projects that are coming in across Canada. And then there's those procurement portals that I did mention a little bit earlier. So we have a huge one with BGIS. So if you're in the business of there's facilities management and all of that. They're a massive facilities management organization, so there's opportunities with BGIS, Enbridge, the City of Calgary, MTO in Ontario, Metrolinx, JLL, and Desjardins in Quebec. Some of these organizations, so Enbridge and JLL require qualifications to do business with them. When I send you this presentation, you will have access to click on these if you wanted to find out more information, but just be aware that any open solicitations from these organizations do appear on MERX, so you will find them, and then you can click on them, but there will be a separate subscription package to do business with these organizations. And just to recap, if you haven't already done so and you want to have access to more, do consider upgrading to the Canadian Tenders Premium package, or one of them anyway. Make sure that you optimize that custom profile of yours where you select your working categories and your advertising with your premium package. Create those search notifications so that you start receiving those emails every day when things are posted that match your criteria. Ask for a debrief if you find that you have not won a contract. I will be sending you a link to our resources page that has additional information to help you. And of course, don't be shy to contact us if you have any questions. We're here to help Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call our 1-800 number. All of our staff is working remotely from home and available to respond to your calls, or you can send us an email at merx@merx.com. So now I'm going to go back to the questions because I know a bunch of questions have popped up. So if there's some of you that do need to leave, because I do know that we've hit the 2 o'clock mark, I just want to thank you very much for being with me here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be sending you that email that has additional resources as well as the recording and the presentation available. So I will be responding to questions now. So if you do need to go, thanks for coming. And if you want to stick around to hear the answers to the questions, we'll do that now. Thank you. Okay, let me see where I was with the questions. So Cafe Canada is Suki. Thank you for your name. You put in a bid at the time it was Mountain Time and you are in BC. And you were not happy. How do they take care of this? So when you're in am I in here? Here, this will display um based on your location. So it should be showing it to you in your time. So I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but I mean, you can contact us, our call center agents. They might be able to find out more details for you. Sorry, I don't have a better answer for you for that, but I would suggest that you do give us a call to see how that is handled. That's something that I am not fully aware of. Kevin is asking, do we still need to obtain an EBS PIN for bid submissions for authorized signer? You do not. It is, we got rid of those in 2017, I believe. Now it's literally your password that you use to log in. So hopefully, you probably asked that question while I was doing it. So hopefully that answers your question. Zane is asking, hi, did you say you have to pay to view the documents? You don't have to pay to view the documents, but at the time, well, yes, you do actually. At the time of downloading the documents is when you can't view the documents for free, is the answer to that question. So yes, you do have to pay. That's the that's the business that we're in. Tanvir, can I see the price of the previous bids closed? In some cases, yes, if they are available. If you're let me log out here. If I'm here on merx.com and I go into the searching capabilities to look at the closed database, in some cases they will be available to me. I don't know offhand which ones. Like in the case of Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, they make their solicitations available for free for all. So if you're wanting to do business with them, in this case they are sharing the bid results. So you would be able to go see that. So hopefully that answers your question. In this case, they didn't submit who the winning bid was or the awardee. So just keep that in mind. It's the buying organizations that chooses to share the information that they share. Mayor is asking to confirm you cannot get the documents unless you are in a paid package. Yes, if you have a free package, you can still download those documents for $60 for only that solicitation. Tanvir, can I see the price? Oh, we already did that question. Competitor price of the closed bid. Only if the buying organization posts it. So in some cases they will, in some cases they won't. That is decided by them. We can't control that. Peter is asking, how do we reach you if we have other questions after this webinar? I think we covered that with the last slide. Thank you. Suki is asking, I only see 4 packages on the screen. I believe you were talking about the premium package Canadian tenders. So yes, there's the free pay as you go, and then there's the 3 premium packages. This here. So there's the basic pay as you go that's free, and then we have, whoops, the premium packages, so where you have to pay and then you have access to all of the tenders and electronic bid submission, potential partnerships by seeing that document request list, unlimited saved searches, those email notifications, the custom profile, and everything is based on your region of choice. So hopefully that answers you. Um, this is asking, what about federal? Does that count as one province? Well, it's more about the location where you are working. So if you're in Ontario and chances are you do business in Ontario, then you would probably consider the local Ontario package, unless you wanted to broaden to Quebec and Manitoba. Then you could do so with the regional. That's up to you. If you do have questions about what package makes sense for you, do call our call center. Our agents are able to walk you through more details about the packages that we have, the subscription packages. If you only bid on federal tenders, does that count as one province? I believe it's based on where the work is to take place. So when you're in the solicitation, one of the things that you'll have to look for is where the work is to take place. I'm just clicking on anyone here. So it's based on the location of where it is to take place. Hopefully that answers your question. And don't be shy to call the call center. They know everything way more than I do. My job is different. But if you're hesitant, I'm hesitant. I would consider calling those guys. They know everything. So thank you. And thank you, Yasser, for coming. Yes, it was a lot of information. Merci, Celia. Merci beaucoup. Great presentation. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Suki. Thank you, Christina. Laura is asking, how do you request a debrief? So when you go into the solicitation, there will be information. This one doesn't have one, but in most cases, you would be able to see the contact person, or it will be in the tender document. So if you've submitted a bid, you'll already know who you contact. And in fact, in some cases, they will tell you what the debrief um, process is. So look throughout your tender documents, who are the proper people that you need to contact about that solicitation. And so you give them a call and you ask if you can schedule a debrief with them, and then that's up to the buying organization how they deal with debriefs. Some won't do it, but a lot of them do it. David, how much do the memberships cost? We went through that. Suki, you're welcome. Thank you. David, industry specific membership packages. No, our packages are based on location. Maria, this was helpful. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you, Thies. Thank you, Suki. And thank you, Tanvir. All right, this is great. I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you.